Good morning, guys and gals, and welcome to the Monday, September 16th episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. It's about that time. I have been sitting here on my day off since 3 a.m. Yeah, my normal time to get up during a workday. And lo and behold, here I am up still at 3 a.m. working on the first video for the 31 days of Halloween here on the channel. I almost forgot I had a stream scheduled. I mean, literally, I have been working on special effects and things like that since I woke up this morning. Well, believe it or not, Tony, and I don't know if it's this phone, I don't know what it is, but I hit start streaming literally as soon as the clock turned 8 a.m. and I was watching myself up here and glancing down at the computer, and the computer is literally almost 1 minute behind my start time. So, yeah, I started on time. It didn't start on time. Good morning, Santee. Good morning, Tony. Glad you guys could make it in this morning. Oh, I'm enjoying this day off already. I mean, I've been up for 5 hours and wow, what I've got done. What I've got done. And the very first story for the 31 days of Halloween comes out of Ohio. Jan and Jay State. I can't wait. Good morning, Sands. Good to see you. I seen your video that you posted. Oh, I post three of them a week. Come hell or high water, I post three a week. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So I should be real easy to find. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, Sands. Good morning, KG. Good to see you, sweetie. Haven't seen you since you moved into Indiana with Mr. Wookster. Oh, man. I got to remember sometime today to pay my phone bill, or I'm gonna be um, sans communicado for a while. I got to do that. Guess you keep me busy. Nah, I keep me busy between the job, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 days a week, getting up at 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 day a week, and not happen to get up, but still getting up 1 day a week. Um, yeah, wow. Well, mine was supposed to be auto pay, Tony, but for some reason it keeps trying to bill the wrong card. No matter how many times we set up the card to do auto pay, it keeps trying to charge the wrong card. It keeps trying to charge a card we used 2 years ago. And so, yeah, I have to physically go in and pay it every month. I don't understand. Ever since Comcast took over Boost Mobile, it's just been one big. I mean, the service is still good. I can get service where other people can't. But yeah, it's just the little rinky-dink things that keep us, wanting to find somebody that works in Comcast and choke them. But let me see here. Blah, 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 blah. I have sinus infection. Been sick all weekend. Oh no. Yeah, I'm using Wookiee's hotspot. My data ran out on my phone. Good. Hope you're okay. Get better soon. Verizon has no problems with getting the money. Boost, back before Comcast bought them, there was many a times, that I wouldn't get donations or whatever, and they'd extend me out a week, 2 weeks, even one time they extended me out 3 weeks. But since Comcast took over, no, there's no common courtesies or anymore. If any of you guys have Comcast for your cable, they're all about the bucks. If it's not paid at the hour it's supposed to be paid, they shut your service off. So yeah, my allergies in the morning stink. I hate having allergies. Well, luckily the only thing I'm allergic to dies right about October, and don't come back until March, April, depending upon the weather and the temperature. And I don't got to worry about them buzzing around me when I go outside. So, uh, yeah. Verizon will not give you an extra second. Yeah, I went and got my things. That went good, but I'm missing stuff too. Today I'm going to Social Security office and get things changed over. Very cool. Very cool. I'm glad everything's working good for you, KC or KG. Um, you guys, you guys waited a long time to get this move up north straightened up. So I'm glad it's all working out good for you. And if we get rain, I think things would die down. Yeah, really. But I prefer having allergies and have something like the flu or some deadly disease. Yeah, I can agree with that. Morning, Ty. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. It's been raining for 3 days straight. Man, we have not had rain in over a week here in Michigan. It's been uh, it's been pretty dry, and it's been warm this week. Last week, guys, we had our highs were the 60s. We were having lows like 39, 40 degrees in the morning, and last weekend it all changed, and it's been 80s, 90s uh, all week, and we've been suffering. Even with the air on, it gets so bloody hot in this place because there's so many windows on the west side, which is the front of the house. No matter what we do, it just heats up like crazy of an evening time. Um, hey, Sarah. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well. That hurricane gave us rain. Going to make an important announcement today on my channel. Oh, God. Oh, God. We don't need no important announcements. 90s, geez, it feels like fall today here. Cover the windows with cardboard. I've actually got blankets hanging over the windows inside the shears so you can't see it from outside. But yeah, it's which, my mom always had blinds on our window because all we had were fields around the house. And so in the morning time, she'd close all the blinds on the east. And then as the sun moved across the sky, she'd open all the blinds to the east and close the ones to the south. And then as evening approached, she'd open the ones from the south and close the ones in the west. And that always managed to keep the house cool. But yeah, not here. Blah, blah, blah. That's an eyesore. That's not good. We have porch that gets really hot in the middle of the day. This weekend is Calamity Jane weekend, but I will be making a bigger announcement. Wow. Yeah, cardboard does work like insulation, but it is sadly enough an eyesore. Now, granted, you can't see much of the front of our house due to the pine trees and stuff that start at the front door and move all the way to the end of the house. But it also, eliminates being able to see who's coming to the front of the house. Um, Cardboard. How do you make it stick? How do you make it stick? Oh, you lick it. I lived in a house that had newspaper in the walls. Dude, I grew up in a house out in that house out in the country that I lived in. When when we bought it in 82, the company that came in drilled a series of holes along right above the baseboard in all the rooms, and they blew processed, chopped newspaper insulation into the walls. So I know exactly what you mean. We didn't have regular roll insulation, like Owen Corning or stuff like that. We had newspaper insulation in the walls. So yeah, I know exactly how that works, and it worked great in the wintertime. Um, you paint the cardboard. I gotta go to work. Bye, y'all. Hope y'all have a great day. You too, Sands. Have a great day at work. Try not to beat anybody up. Have fun. Always have fun, regardless of what you do. I cool my entire house this summer with one 5,000 BTU window unit thanks to covering the window. I see the hour every day. It's down the street from the new house. I see the house every day. I have done the blown in insulation. It sucked. See, it worked really good for our place. I mean, we had the old 1955 furnace downstairs in the furnace room just off the kitchen. But there were no, if you know about old house construction, there were no vents upstairs. So we put in baseboard heaters in mine and my sister's room, and between the furnace downstairs and the baseboard heaters upstairs, uh, and the newspaper insulation. That house stayed nice and toasty um, during the wintertime and stuff. I have done the blown in. Oh, the doing, not the insulation. Yeah, those guys were covered, man. I remember they had the great big long hose, and they had a long cone, and they would go through and they'd stick it in those holes that they drilled above the baseboard. And when it got full, I don't care how far you pushed it into the hole, yeah, it would come out. It would come out, and those poor guys were covered in blown insulation. It was terrible. Marketplace. I found a 13,000 BTU for $80 for a $600 unit. Yeah, yeah. Market. I spend a lot of time on Marketplace looking for different things that I could use for reenacting, different things I can use for props and stuff here on the channel. I've actually found chainmail. I found chainmail and armor on Facebook Marketplace. Of course, the only card that I have is the PayPal card. So, there's no money on it. I can't buy anything, but I mean, I find it. It's there. I even find Ghostbuster stuff on there. Kind of cool. Yeah, me too. Great deals. Oh, definitely, Cheryl. Definitely. So how the hell is everybody? Since it's been a whole week since we had a chance to sit down and talk together, how's everybody doing? What'd you all do this week? We're going to turn this hat around because I hate having my eyes shadowed. Anybody do anything fun? I mean, besides Jan being sicker than all get out, which I can definitely sympathize because last Thursday my boss went home sick. Messaged me Thursday afternoon and told me to watch myself. That he just all of a sudden started vomiting like crazy. And Friday morning, I woke up and I had a slight temperature, like 99.1, 99.4 is what it was. And then I woke up Saturday morning and it was 101.8. And he's like, stay the hell out of my kitchen. So, yeah, in 36 hours, I slept about 24 hours out of 36, 20, 24, 26 hours from Friday after I got home from work until Saturday night, well, Sunday morning when I went back to work. Um, it was bad. It was bad. There was a couple times there I thought I was going to die. It was so bad. Between my guts hurting and the fact that I couldn't regulate my temperature, I was either sweating to death and taking my shirt off and laying on top the covers watching TV to freezing to death, putting my shirt back on, putting my robe on, and just back and just constant, constant, constant. I need to clean all my vehicles. I'm half paying attention. I'm at work, printing off papers for students. Oh, that sounds like fun. Now I need to find a Grom motorcycle on Marketplace. I'm not familiar with Grom. I cleaned my car out real good. Hope it's better, Jan. Jan needs to get better. Jan needs to get better. I don't like it when Jan's sick. She's too far away for me to check in on her. In due time, I'll be better. Less time outside, the better. Sorry, yeah, I was sick last week. It was miserable being at work. Doc said the colon was good. Awesome news, man. Awesome news. And what can I say? I have a few of you guys on like Messenger where we communicate sometimes regularly, sometimes semi regularly, um, sometimes hardly at all. But it's nice to when when I know that there's something medically wrong, that it's nice to just check in once in a while. My car was disgusting. There was food that had been in there since I don't know when. Couldn't be any worse than um, couldn't be any worse than my ex-wife's Firebird. I mean, she had a classic Firebird and a spoiled brat. So, needless to say, when her and I got together and I started driving that car, I tried to keep it clean inside and out. And um, I've come to find out that a McDonald's hamburger never goes bad. Never goes bad. I mean, they get hard, but I think 20 seconds in a microwave, it probably would have softened right back up. But it looked like it had just fallen off the patty when I found it under the back floor mat. It looked like it had just fallen off the bun. Even the pickle was still stuck to it. The ketchup and mustard was still red and yellow, and they were hard. I mean, they were rubber laying on top of it. So I mean, I'll never understand how people can just never clean out their. I mean, never, like for months and months and months, and sometimes years, never clean out their car. I just, I don't know. Found half of Arby's roast beef sandwich under the passenger seat of the Firebird one time. She hadn't been to Arby's the whole time we'd been together, but I found a half-eaten Arby's roast beef sandwich under the passenger seat. So God knows how long it was there. Blah, blah, blah. Small but street legal. Only motorcycle that can touch the ground with my feet. Might have just dirty old muddy dirt. Up to 55 mile an hour. I got no kids riding with me these days, so the spillages of food aren't an issue. My kids love McDonald's. I shouldn't feed that to them. It's been years for the truck, so kiss my Sarah, McDonald's, it don't hurt them a lot. I mean, depending on what they eat, I'm a McNugget kind of guy or McChicken. So yeah, those are like my things. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mind a McRib um, on the rare occasion that they're actually out, or even a milkshake on the very rare occasion the milkshake machine works. But you know, well, I didn't clean it because I've been super depressed. Feel like I'm just now getting out of it, and I feel better. Don't be depressed. She got nothing to be depressed about. Nothing. Nothing. You're young. You're beautiful. You got a good job. Very soon, your kids will both have good jobs and be supporting you, and you can retire. Where's the beef? We do make a special run for McRibs. Yep. And when I can actually talk the wife into it, quite honestly, we'll run to Aldi's or something like that and buy the banquet riblet meals, and then I wash their sauce off of it and put my own sauce on it with chopped onions and dill pickles on a hoagie bun, and I make my own McRibs. So it's the same meat, just a different sauce, and if you clean the sauce off of it, it's open pit, original open pit on the McDonald's McRibs. So, you put your open pit on there with your dill pickles and your chopped onions and on your hoagie bun, and boom, you've got McRibs at home. My kids have their own lives to support. Wendy's has potatoes too, and chicken nuggets. I hate McRibs. I tried to like it. I just want plain cheeseburger. See, our McDonald's here, and I don't know why. I tried to, the last time Big Macs were on sale, and we had the money to get some, they were like 2 for $5. And I tried to get them. The meat was so salty, I couldn't even eat it. I mean, I literally, I could not eat it. It was so salty. And I don't know. Kind of put me off when it comes to eating burgers at McDonald's. Um, yeah, Wendy's does have great chicken nuggets. You are right about that, Cheryl. I especially like their little spicy nuggets. I freaking hate hot pickles. Um, please try a Dave's single cheeseburger at Wendy's. You'll get hooked. Wendy's is good, but we don't have any around here. Um, our nearest Wendy's is 45 minutes away. Well, yeah, 45 minutes because it's in South Bend, right by the mall. So that's our closest. If anything, around here a 10 mile within a 10 mile trip is either McDonald's here, which is our only chain restaurant, or the next town just north of us, which is, what, 9 miles. Um, they have Burger King and Taco Bell, McDonald's, Pizza Hut. That's it. Our closest, uh, our closest big town is 45 minutes. Steak and Shake, that's also in South Bend, just south of the mall. Um, that's our closest Steak and Shake. So, and I haven't been to Steak and Shake in 10 years or longer. I like Wendy's chili. Love Wendy's chili. Um, there's five-way spaghetti. You could get chili inside a baked potato too. Everything is close to us. We don't have Steak and Shake, honestly speaking. Double cheeseburger fast food is Waffle House. I've never had a burger at Waffle House. Probably because our nearest Waffle House is in South Bend, and when I get a hankering to eat breakfast or something, um, I want it quick. It's like I made BLTs the other night for dinner, and I actually saved bacon to make breakfast burritos with the next day. So, of course, I cooked, 2 pounds of bacon to make sure there was enough left over to make breakfast burritos the next day. I live 30 miles from the original Steak and Shake. I want to try Sonic's new smash burger. Me too. I just said something about that the other night, that new smash burger of theirs looks really good. Of course, I'm 45 minutes from Sonic too. Or 45 minutes one direction, an hour and 20 minutes the next direction. Been in it many times. Waffle House in Washington State. Sadly, my nearest Waffle House is 150 miles. From the cabin, I think it's 70 miles. Wow. See, and so, there's others out there that understand my conflict with going out and eating. It's either cook at home, diner food, bar food, or McDonald's here. I can't remember where you are. I am in southwest Michigan. Um, 15 minutes. 15 minutes north of the Indiana line. There's a Huddle House 10 miles from the cabin, and the one Huddle House in Illinois is about 30 miles. Huddle House is a Waffle House knockoff. I think Huddle House has been around longer than Waffle House. Um, there's Huddle Houses all over the South. There's one in Dayton, Tennessee, that my mom and dad go to on a regular basis, and it's been there for a few decades. Um, it had been there for a long time when mom and pop retired and moved back down to eastern Tennessee, almost 17 years ago. So, yeah. But that's one of the places I'm actually going to take the wife and son when we go down in November. They've never even heard of Huddle House. And believe you me, when you order something at Huddle House, like biscuits and gravy or something like that, it is it's a huge helping. I mean, you wind up wanting to take some of it home with you. Huddle House is a little upscale from Waffle House. I think so. I know that it's not. I know that it's not. I mean, it's a corporation. Don't get me wrong, but they don't have that corporate mentality with their wait staff, their management, their cooks. I mean, they keep that small town flavor, both with the food and with the feeling when you're there. Lord, hit a Waffle House if you can. I don't even know where there's a Waffle House down that way. Um, I don't remember ever seeing a Waffle House. Now, the one place I will take them, seeing as how I got them hooked on White Castle hamburgers, um, down in Pikeville, Tennessee, or Crossville, Tennessee, there's um, it's the southern version of White Castle, and it's just like a White Castle, except they put mustard on them. And me and the old man used to go in there all the time, and we'd get 30 of those damn things and take them home with us. Or if mom was doing her Walmart shopping trip, because she wouldn't eat them, me and the old man did, we'd we'd go get 20 or 30 of those things, and we'd sit in the car while mom was doing her shopping and just mow crystals, which is what they're called down there. It's not called anything house, it's crystals. And the Crystal Burgers is the southern knockoff of White Castle. Um, I don't see much difference in the two atmosphere wise. Besides, every Waffle House looks older. Yeah, see, I don't know if they're made to look older or what the deal is. Um, I don't get it. I don't understand it. That's why I don't have that corporate mentality, I guess. Well, the wife should be leaving for work about any minute now. And then I have to start getting together ideas for how we're going to decorate the yard for Halloween. Good morning, Mr. Squatch. Hope you're doing good. I think we're going to take, or I think I'm going to take some of my old costumes that I've done for uh, costume contests and stuff and turn them into mannequins for the front yard. I know I'm going to do some kind of a dark demon coming out of a old trunk, um, strobe lights, sound effects. So I think this year I am going to hand out candy for the first time. Um, Grandma used to do, well, Grandma did it a couple times before, the effects of the stroke got really bad, and she used to love it. So I'm thinking this year, I'm going to let the kids go out, let the granddaughter go out, let the wife go out, and I am going to sit here doing the Grim Reaper, handing out candy to the kids. Oh, man. Anything here for Halloween? No kids here. We have a lot of them, but they're not used to stopping here. And in the past, I have lightly decorated the yard, but this year I am going to go all out with, like I said, strobe lights, fog machines, my little cemetery, um, things coming up out of the ground, things coming out of old steamer trunks, former costumes that are going to become mannequins. I'm going to have some fun. Oh, she didn't even honk when she drove by. How dare her? Yeah, she went back on days middle of August, and she'll be on days until the middle of February, and then she'll go back on graves again until the middle of August. One of the pleasures of being in management. The thrill is gone. As creative as you are, Tony, I could imagine what all the different ways that you could probably terrorize small children, um, coming to your front door to get candy. Um, I don't know why, but for some reason I could actually see you getting friends together and just, I mean, chainsaws and masks and chasing kids and taking their candy. I don't. We don't want to go there. Yeah, we have a lot of them. The old lady, I shouldn't call her old. I mean, she's in her 70s, but she's a former school teacher, and she lives just right across the street, north of us. And her church group comes over to her yard every year, and they hand out hot cider and hot dogs and hot cocoa and stuff like that, candy for the kids, and you know, she she always draws a crowd. So I figure the lights and the strobes and everything I plan on doing out here this year will get her crowd. Wasn't really at the Halloween. Hey Ian, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Of course, Mark and his wife should be back home by now or today sometime from their wedding trip out to her sisters in Colorado for their wedding. And hopefully, we'll get right back onto the investigation thing um, here in the 31 days of Halloween coming up. And oh, yeah, we're going to have some fun. But with him not working at the casino anymore and not working in security, I got a feeling it's going to be a lot less stressful for him. I mean, they took advantage of him, guys. When, he's been there for 18 years. 18 years. He was one of the originals that started that place before they ever unlocked the doors. And he worked his way up to management a year and a half ago. And every single time that someone called off, every single time that someone no showed, they called him. And he went in there and he worked his butt off to, make sure that there was security on duty for all the shifts. And it was usually him that did it. I've seen him go in at 10 o'clock at night and not get off until 10 o'clock the next night. So, and due to budget cuts and, like, for some reason, one of the top five wealthiest tribes, they eliminated his management position. So, after 18 years, it was here, let us escort you out the front door with surveillance and security, and we can make arrangements to get your stuff to you. Oh, by God, my wife got it to him. And in a really fun twist, even managed to go into the break room and get his Keurig coffee pot and all of his K cups and everything that he had brought in there just not a month ago, and took it back out and put it in the back seat of the car. And we're waiting to hear from him to come over and get it. So, Mark, if you're listening, your Keurig, your K cups, your little car off your desk, everything is in the back seat of the wife's car, just waiting on you. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. I have got some ideas squirreling around up here for the 31 days of Halloween. I have managed to utilize every single bit of extra time I had here at the house when I wasn't doing other things to work on some really good videos. Um, Let me see here. What have we got going on right now? Today is the 16th. Um, Tomorrow we have five truly bizarre historic New Mexico facts. Um, on Thursday we have got Forgotten History, James A. Garfield. On Sunday we have got Vampires, a True History. Blah, 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 blah. And that's what we got coming out this week. So, and then of course they slowly get weirder and they slowly get a little darker, up until the 1st of October, which starts our 31 days of Halloween. Everybody's so quiet this morning. I'm used to comments just flying up in the comment column, and everybody's quiet. Is everybody recovering from the weekend? The one thing, the one thing I got to admit that I'm really looking forward to with this fall is that trip in November down to Tennessee. I think I'm going to make a phone call to a friend of ours that, well, let's just say he specializes in some of those Appalachian mysteries. I think I might get a hold of him and his beautiful wife, and we might get a chance to hook up while I'm down there and do a little something something. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I see where another Trump assassination attempt was foiled yesterday. I've not seen anything about it. I have not seen anything about it. That's interesting. What happened, Tony? It's funny because I have been I was on here for quite a while yesterday evening working on videos, and like I said, I've been on here for the last almost 6 hours, and I have not seen a single news clip about anything like that um, come across the screen. So yeah, I'm inquiring minds want to know. I haven't seen anything or heard anything about it. I've got to head out to work. I'm going to try it. If I can't make it, I'll come home. All right, Jan. I'll try to get a hold of you later. Depends on whether or not my phone shut off or not. I think it shut off at 6 a.m. this morning. So I don't know. I'll try to get a hold of you later and see how you're feeling. But I'll wait till, after 3 o'clock. That way I know for sure you're home. Or just message me and let me know if you're able to make it today or the day or not. But you have a good day, and I hope you get feeling better. This is the wrong time of the season to be getting the punies. Some guy was in the bushes at Hyde Golf Course with scope SKS within 500 yards of Trump when the Secret Service saw the guy. That doesn't mean it was for Trump. Maybe he was just trying to shoot a birdie, or even worse, an eagle. Okay, wasn't that good. Man, I cannot believe we've not even been on here an hour yet. Yes, it does. Okay, maybe it was. I don't know. I don't understand the mentality of someone who thinks that it's okay just to assassinate someone you don't like. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of people in life that I wanted to beat the snickers out of, but I didn't want to, end their life or anything like that. online stuff from the guy was anti-Trump. Hmm. Wow, that's terrible. That's terrible. I don't know. I don't know how this and you guys know I don't like to talk about politics and stuff. I believe everybody is due to their own opinion, their own beliefs on things, on the candidates and stuff. I don't like talking politics, but the big thing on everybody's mind right now is, based on how this election goes, we're looking at the potential of a new nationwide tax across the board on everything, um, which is going to make prices even steeper uh, than what they are now. A loaf of bread has gone up 50%, and, um, you know, gasoline has gone up, over 50% in the last, 4 or 5 years. We just seen gasoline here at one of our local gas stations 2 days ago for like 3.09 a gallon, and everybody was freaking out. They were going and filling everything up. The wife said that she even seen a couple of farmers in their big trucks go and fill up their truck and then fill up 55-gallon fuel drums in the back of the truck. So, I mean, they were freaking out. 3.09 a gallon. I, Now, I know that quite a few of us in here, we're in that middle age group. I remember when gas was less than $1 a gallon. I remember taking $20 and filling up my 67 Ford and still having enough money left over to take me and my girlfriend to the movies after I filled the car up. So, yeah, you can't do that anymore on a $20 bill. Hell, you can barely get one person in the movies for $20, let alone two people and fill the car up. It isn't politics, it's a crime. No, very true. Very true. The question is, how was your bank account in 2020 compared to today? Um, well, I don't know. That's or better, your freezer. Our freezer's literally no better or worse than it was in 2020. Um, just having the money to go to the meat market to get meat and stock up. Now, I have to admit, we had what, extra $75 last week than what we normally would have because everything was paid up. And the wife, our local store, our only store here in town, was running one of their specials, buy two, get three free, which they do once every couple months or something like that. And so she took the money up to the store and she bought some burger, bought some bacon, bought some chicken, bought some pork chops, stuff like that. That was, buy two get three free. And she spent the, $75 and saved, um, God, what was it? Saved like $150, something like that. So yeah, it wasn't too awful bad. It's the best our freezers looked in a long time. Oh yeah, I agree, Tony. Um, people do have to ask, how are things now compared to 4 years ago? Um, the price of things, taxes that we pay, that is always going to be one one really important factor that people are going to have to look at when it comes to election time. How are things? How has this changed? How has this gone up? Has this lowered? Has it gone up? What was the percentage of the increase? You know, you just you have to take everything into consideration when it comes to that stuff. I got twice as many vehicles, but less of them working. What do you do? You know, regardless of which way you go, is you're going to be six of one, half a dozen of another. Either way you slide, this candidate's going to have these uh, things about them that we really like, and they're going to have these things about them that we don't like, and this other candidate's going to have things about them that we really like and things about them that we really don't like. So I mean, six of one, half a dozen of another. That really isn't money, though. That is laziness. Yeah. Well, maybe it's laziness. For me, it's a money thing. I'm actually uh, I have been looking for a golf cart or something that I can drive back and forth to work this winter. Because there's not a lot of people, there's hardly anybody on the road when I go to work in the morning. And, this winter, it's going to be a 20-minute walk. Not cold temperatures, that don't bother me. It's the idea, the fact of, slipping and falling and laying in the street, possibly bleeding out of my skull or something until sunlight or when somebody comes up on my body and, doesn't run over me. But I've been looking for a golf cart or something that I can take my time driving to work, and, you know, that's a little safer than walking on icy roads. And, who can afford it? Who can afford it? I've been looking at old crappy 1970s golf carts, and people are wanting, you know, $1,000 for them. And I can't afford that. I'm a constitutionalist. Both suck, but one sucks less. Yeah. Spend $10, get strap on cleats. I can see the effectiveness of strap on cleats. You know, 1,000 plus $500 for new batteries. Yeah, one of my, I guess one of my biggest fears is, they're talking about a really bad winter here, um, which means, a lot of snow, really cold temperatures, sub-zero temperatures, even possibly again this year. And you figure I'm going to work at either 1 a.m. or I'm sorry, I'm leaving the house at 3:30 a.m. or leaving the house at 5:30 a.m. And it's going to be much colder. Plus, I have big open lake and stuff, um, and big open road. Yesterday, I was out there and it was like 59 degrees or something like that. And no matter where I stood at the building, I was getting hit with either a cold breeze coming up the road or a cold breeze coming from the direct west. Um, it it was cold. I can't imagine what it's going to be like this winter with 10, 5 minus whatever wind chill, standing out there waiting for someone to get there in the morning. So I don't know. Did golf cart restorations at work. I found some really cool golf carts. Getting back to what we were talking about earlier with Facebook Marketplace. Um, I've seen some custom golf carts. Look like Mercedes Benzes. A couple of them look like old Volkswagens. Custom pickup trucks, things like that. People wanting 10, $15,000 for. Mine would look like Ghostbusters Ecto. So I Sub Zero ain't tough to deal with. Layers. Been in a river when it was 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Not by choice. Yeah. I'm going to take a run to the in house. You guys talk real nice amongst yourselves. It says there's only four of you in here, so it should be real nice to talk amongst yourselves. But I'm going to make a run, talk about a horse, or talk to a guy about a horse that pees or something. I'll be right back. I'll come back over here, plop down. Oh, somebody was waiting outside my door, like the loyal puppy dog that he is. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Soon after I was in my skivvies in front of a fire. I don't blame you. I avoid the water when it gets cold like that. I got your toes. I got your toes. Give my foot. Your foot. Your foot. You stuck on my sleeve. There you go. Like I said, sitting outside or laying outside my door like the loyal dog he is. Mr. Piggy. Daddy Piggy. Well, I stepped onto a undercut bank of the river and oh yeah, oh yeah. I've fallen in shallow water, and it's really funny too because when you're out ice fishing or something like that, it's usually the deeper water. You get out a little deeper, it don't freeze as well as it does in the shallows. You've got a current moving, which is always warmer than still water. And we've made it all the way out to the center, walked back up on shore, and cracked right through the ice and gone ankle deep, even knee deep in in a frozen river. So yeah, it's oh the joys of the coon hunt. Yeah, for me it was ice fishing, something I've always loved to do. Who is moving around out there? Everybody should be gone. Mr. Piggy, who's out there? Hmm? Who's out there besides the other kitties? The other kitties would not be opening and closing doors. Hold on, guys. There's something going on out here. Son's at school, wife's at work. Well, if that kind of crap don't make you wonder this early in the morning, nothing will. Son left for school and left RJ trapped in her bedroom. So he was in there freaking out, trying to figure out why the door wouldn't open. I had the presence of mind to kick out, so I hit about 18 inches of water as opposed to the channel beneath the undercut. 17 inches of water, 1 inch ice. Yeah, it could have been dangerous, that's for sure. Could have been dangerous. And as I've got a little older and, Pop's not around to go ice fishing with anymore, Grandpa's been gone since '83, and they were the ones that got me started ice fishing. I don't go anymore. So I completely avoid ice on lakes now because, well, I don't do anything like that alone. It was cold as I've ever been. Oh yeah, I can't imagine what it's like to, not be or be so far out away from civilization that you have to rely on your own ingenuity to uh, to warm yourself back up and not get hypothermia or frostbite. Uh, Whenever we would ice fish or go ice fishing, we were always within 15 minutes of home. So if somebody did fall through, we could get them in a car, get the heater blaring, get them home, get them stripped down, covered up with blankets, dried off, and yeah, to actually be out by yourself somewhere and something catastrophic happen like that, where a person's life is in their own hands. It's yeah, I never had to deal with that before. It was quick thinking on your part to know, strip off those wet clothes and get yourself in front of a fire as quick as possible. It's really funny that your body heats up faster the less clothes you have on. So I mean, just knowing, don't rush to the cabin or whatever, or even if there's not a cabin, don't rush to the shelter and strip off the wet clothes, put on dry clothes, and lay next to the fire because you're going to warm faster the less clothes you have on. I never run dogs alone at night. There was two guys with me that night, and they probably saved my life, or at least from frostbite. There you go. Well, my skivvies was long johns. Those things come in real handy. I don't care what anybody says. I got two pair of old uh, red long handles that I wear a lot in the wintertime. And yeah, those things can be a lifesaver, that's for sure. See, the only bad thing about walking this winter is layering up and breaking a sweat while I'm walking. But then there's that 15 to half hour, 15 to 30 minutes that I sit and wait for someone to show up where I'm already sweaty inside my clothes and I've got that cold air blowing on me and not moving. Yesterday morning, perfect example. I left for work at regular time. My boss had messaged me and told me, I'm not showing up. One of the owners are. Um, I messaged them last night. They're going to show up and let you in. An hour after I was supposed to come in, um, I still was standing outside. And I come to find out that the owner's phone had died through the night and they didn't get the message. They had to come and let me in. So it was a little it was a late start. Let's put it that way. Hey Sam, good to see you. Gloves. I like gloves. I like gloves. I've got let's see here. What gloves do I have handy right here? Um, I've got my skeleton gloves, my fingerless skeleton gloves. I've got a pair of regular gloves coming here real soon with the skeleton pattern. Those are probably my favorites. I haven't even got them yet, so I'm looking forward to them. The wife ordered them for me because she knows I'm going to be going out and doing some more investigations. Um, when it starts to get cold. So, do you have any disposable gloves, plastic gloves, rubber gloves, cleaning gloves, surgical gloves? Um, my son has got restaurant gloves. We found a box of them, or we found them on sale one time at a restaurant place, and picked him up a box of them to use for baking and stuff. Those are about the only ones we have here. Um, I use disposable gloves for working with hamburger. I have the feel the ground. Yeah, yeah. I've seen people do that. My ex's dad and grandpa uh, done a lot of deer hunting, and they always had the white restaurant gloves around to be able to get into um, the ground meat and stuff like that. Um, Also kept from having to clean um, deer particles and stuff um, out from under their fingernails and blood and everything else. Oh, you hate the feel of ground meat. It don't really bother me that much. Now, I've used the son's gloves, yes, to patty out hamburgers before, only because it don't stick to the gloves like it sticks to your skin. So I've used them for that before. Usually, I just use parchment paper to smash out my smash burgers and stuff when I make them. But uh, yeah, I'm it don't really bother me to feel the ground meat. I will if I have to, but yeah, I prefer using parchment paper or rubber gloves or something. But you could always use more gloves. Do I still have disposable gloves at home? Um, I don't know if he has any here or not. I don't know if he has any here or not. That's a good question. I like to knead spices and stuff in the ground meats. Very cool. He still has those at home. I don't know if he has any here or not anymore. Good morning, Skipper. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. I got a video coming up here next week. Um, when is that coming up? That's coming up not this coming Thursday, but next Thursday, the 26th. It's on Ogopogo in Lake Okanagan. Cousin to Champ, cousin to Nessie. Gonna be interesting. Pretty good. Heading down to Calgary to celebrate my 40th wedding anniversary with my wife. Well, I'm glad you're taking her. It's kind of, I mean, it's not as much fun celebrating your anniversary without your wife. So I'm glad you're taking her with you. That should be fun. 40 is a fair few. If you have the disposable gloves at home, would you wear it on both hands? You're live streaming as well. No, because I don't have the money to go out and buy stuff like that regularly, so we don't waste them. Those things are strictly for him to bake with and cook with. I don't. I don't wear them that much. When I'm at work, on occasion, I'll wear the black um, latex gloves. When I'm cleaning the mixers off with the pizza dough. But other than that, yeah, I don't even mess with rubber gloves. Disposable gloves are nearly as bad as meat. Yeah, I don't understand how restaurants can afford to buy them by the case when a box of them gonna cost you over $10. I can't imagine spending $150 on a case of latex gloves. Already been getting things ready for my seasonal gig, new gloves, new belt, several training sessions, including how to work with autistic kids. That's very cool, Skipper. That's very cool. I've thought about delving deeper into doing the Santa thing here and going ahead and letting everything grow in. It's just, even with the new job, I'm making less than I was at the bar, but I'm getting more hours, but it's directly deposited into the bank account every 2 weeks. So, you know, just keeping up with a decent Santa outfit, boots, a real belt, not a cheapy, crappy belt. Um, my boots, of course, my cavalry boots work well with that. But, the Santa suit itself, the belt, and all the other little things, it's just too expensive to keep up with right now for me. I'm always looking for secondhand stuff to add to my collection to uh, to do more Santa stuff. So if you know of a place where I can get like super cheap used Santa stuff, get a hold of me. Let me know. Because even though I'm working 6 days a week, I'm still a po dude. So I like to stay and watch the live stream because people wearing the disposable gloves on both hands just for me while you're live streaming as well. I tried the disposable mechanics gloves at work and grabbed something hot by mistake. Didn't feel the heat quickly enough. Because of the pandemic, Canadian government sent veterans these special packages that included disposable gloves and masks. I have enough to last me for years. Burnt the piss out of my hands. Yeah, the outfits are very expensive. A decent outfit can range from, I think that's, yeah, 1,000 to 3,000, definitely. Well, I'll tell you what, Sam, just for you, I will look over the next week to see if there's any of those disposable gloves anywhere, and if I can find them, I will get a pair out for next week's live stream, just for you, only because of your personal request. Huh, that was weird. This thing normally only turns on um, when a text comes in, but I don't see a text anywhere. There are groups on Facebook where you can buy and sell Santa suits and equipment. My last suit came from North Carolina. Well, that's cool. Yeah, here a few years ago, back before you and I met, Skipper, I had made my own coat and pants, and I had my cavalry boots that I wore. But uh, I had started letting my beard grow in. It was not much longer than this right here. And I wore the suit around every time we left the house. I didn't care if we stayed here local and went to the grocery store, or we drove into Niles, Michigan, or South Bend, Indiana, and went to Walmart. Um, I would wear my suit everywhere. And the wife and I were both shocked how many kids were in Walmart with their um, parents or grandparents, and they wanted to stop and get pictures with me um, doing Santa Claus, and I loved it. I loved interacting with the kids and watching their eyes light up when they thought they seen Santa at their Walmart or something like that. So, much like thousands of other Santas out there, um, I'm so happy to give those kids a little bit of that Christmas spirit um, all through the month of December. It is a possibility to make a Santa outfit using 1770s pattern. Yeah, see, I like the old Santa pattern, the long, almost floor length overcoat with the short pelvis length underneath the pants with the fur cuffs. That's the Santa outfit that I like, is the old Father Christmas style. Even right down to having my my cane with the big brass knob on top of it and everything. It adds to the outfit. The kids love it. You can't go anywhere without having kids wanting to take pictures with you or tell you what they want for Christmas or something. And I just love that joy and that love and stuff that it brings to people. not just kids, but adults as well, that never lost that Christmas spirit. Um, it just, I don't know. It just makes me feel like I'm giving something to my community, to the children, to the adults, that helping them to keep that Christmas spirit alive. If you go too far back, this latest generation wouldn't even recognize you. The Thomas Nast version of Santa is recognizable. Oh yeah, definitely. The Coca-Cola Santa is by far the one that most people recognize. Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. And that's the reason that I try, the only addition I make to the Coca-Cola Santa is the long red overcoat with the white fur cuffs and the fur collar and the fur base. Um, I've actually considered making my own and just going to a fabric store or something like that and buying as much white craft fur as I can afford to buy, which right now I can't afford to buy enough to make a teddy bear. So I can't afford enough to make a teddy hamster. What am I talking about? Craft fur is expensive. 9, 10, 11, 12. I've seen it up to $15 a square yard. So, yeah, if you want to see me with a Santa Claus outfit, click on that link that I keep posting for, support. And that will help me to get my Santa outfit, or at least the fur and the red wool material to make it. You could use the Father Christmas outfit used in the UK with the hood as well. Yeah, I like the hood. I do like the hood, just having it down, even on my back with my Santa cap on. Either way, the kids recognize it. Even in my crappy homemade outfit that I've made in the past with what little bit of stuff I've had around the house here, kids recognize it. Something about red with white fur, and kids automatically shoot. That's Santa. My wife's uncle made one. It was fantastic. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. You could use the Father. It's a wonderful feeling, isn't it? It is. It is. It's an excellent feeling. Um, yeah, it's a great feeling. Living histories while you're live streaming. You could wear a pair of disposable gloves on both hands. Just for me while you're live streaming as well. Yep, I find the ones here that we had for the son, and or that we got for him to bake with, and if I can find them, I'll have a pair next Monday on our next stream, just for you, Sam. I don't know how he did the coat, but it was wool and lined with what looked like silk. Hmm, very cool. The red overcoat that I picked up last year, um, it was that way. And of course, I put the fur on the pockets, and I think there's some around the collar. No, the vest I wore underneath um, the overcoat is like a dark Christmas green, and it's got the white fur around the collar, and then around the sleeves and the base, I stitched white craft fur. So still a modern looking coat. Of course, I need to get more fur, and it's ankle length. So I mean, it's a good long coat. I still want to get the fur for the front. Um, the only problem is I went through the house here and cut the white craft fur off of everything that I had here to make that coat, and it didn't all match up. So I really, really need to um, go through and cut all the fur off of that thing that's on it and restart it again for the Christmas season. I doubt it was real silk. He wasn't waist deep in money. It can be expensive. Sometimes I think it can be more expensive to make one um, than it can to go out and buy one. Is it green? The vest is a very dark, rich, almost satin, um, deep hunter green, and I've wore it, on here before during the Christmas season. Um, and then the coat, of course, the coat and the pants are both that bright Christmas red. It just screams ho ho ho. Oh, 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 oh. My Hudson's Bay frock, $200 to buy one, was way freaking more. Always wanted a Hudson Bay frock. Always wanted one. Always thought that'd be um, pretty cool. Well, 220, 110 each for the blankets. Wow, wow. And that explains why I've never had a Hudson Bay. I've had, what do they call them, Arctic Winter or something, the knockoffs of Hudson Bay. They're like $30 a piece or something like that. I've done some trading and picked up a couple of them, but they weren't as nice as Hudson's, that's for sure. Hey, Rob, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Man, you've been putting out some good videos lately. Been putting out some very good videos lately, man. I've been really kicking back. I've been liking them when I watch them. I don't always comment because I'm usually, you know, everybody's in the comments is pretty much covering what I'm thinking because I normally don't get to watch them until the next morning after you've released one. But man, thank you so much for putting out the really cool videos. I'm loving them. I think back then they were $600. Wow. Oh, the Hudson's Bay was a requirement for two of the forts we put on displays at. Busy, busy, but got some great stuff coming. Dude, I'm always watching. Every time I see one pop up, I'm watching. Yeah, these forts were damn near thread counters. I've dealt with a lot of thread counters, button counters, and authentic. I've dealt with a lot of them in 30 years, man. It's crazy. Almost 1,000 views on my most recent video I did on the 80-year-old gas station that they were fully restoring. Yeah, I saw that one. Well, I saw it advertised last night. It's not popped back up on um, my videos, but when I saw you know, the thing, the thumbnail pop up, it's like, oh, restoring an old gas station. Kind of like the one here in town that you and Buddy stopped at when I very first contacted you and said, hey, you were 2 blocks from my house, bud. Hey, Derek, good to see you. Sorry, you're all right, bud. I mean, we only got about 15 minutes left, but still, I mean, I'm glad you showed up. We were legit. Oops. What happened here? Oh, there it is. I've got so much positive feedback on that video. It's crazy. All the stories people told me, people are so happy. It's reopening. The owner loves the publicity and thanked me, an icon, publicly, and thanked me, an icon around here. Oh, by far, man. I mean, I love the abandoned buildings that you do, but something like that, where they're taking a piece of local history and remodeling it and keeping it open and not letting it, fall into disrepair and be demolished after a period of time, is absolutely wonderful. And I'm sure the owner is just dumbfounded with the publicity and the feedback from the local community. So, yeah, definitely, definitely great job on that video, man. I can't wait to sit back and watch it. I was admiring myself in the mirror. Damn thing cracked. And I can't imagine that as pretty as you are. I just can't imagine you cracking a mirror. Hello from Windsor. The only thing that I did that wasn't legit was using horse bridle straps to hold up my knee stockings. The city wanted to demolish the whole station, including the iconic sign, but the owner said you can't. It's a piece of iconic history, so they saved it, but the gas station will be different. Oh, I'm sure. You have to modernize. I mean, we have so many historic buildings here in town that were built during the Civil War era, but uh, for new businesses to come in to open up, things have to be modernized. It's the same with the brewery where I work at. It's the old fire station here, and the owner and I were talking last week, and he walked me right out to the back door and opened the back door up and showed me where they used to take the old steam powered water pump, the old pump wagon, the horse drawn pump wagon, and they would lower it down into this garage basically, that where there's now a hill at the back of the brewery used to be flat land, so they would just roll the steam powered wagon in there, and then out back was the carriage house where the horses were kept to hook up to it and pull out. So they've modernized the whole first floor, but left the basement and the second floor of the fire station as original as it could be. Um, Sometimes you got to modernize, but keeping the original outer facet of the building is wonderful if you can do it, or keeping it as original as you can do it. That's absolutely wonderful. It'll be the same station but totally remodeled into a new updated station, so nothing's being torn down. It's being reused. Definitely cool. We still have buildings here in Windsor and Sandwich Town that were around since 1700 and the War of 1812. And we have a few within, a 20 mile radius of here. That's the same way. You know, we have a few buildings here in town that they're not quite that old, um, but still Civil War era, just slightly pre Civil War era. Of course, they've all been repainted and upkept, and yeah, I actually seen a picture of where our fire station, that is the brewery now, was at 170 years ago, and it was connected to the old hotel here in town, um, which is now a parking lot. But yeah, it was amazing. The whole, from the corner, the crossroads uh, uptown, where the two highways intersect, all the way down to the fire station was all the old hotel. And when it burnt down, they built three businesses in there, and then left a big open parking lot and then the fire station. So we still have an original law office from 1838 here when Grand Rapids was just a year old. Very cool. Hmm. Now, I mean, you want to see something really cool, and it's a long, long trip, Rob. But to go down to Corydon, Indiana, Indiana, um, oh, what do they call that thing? Indiana Territorial Jail, the Indiana Territorial Capital. This was before Indianapolis became, or before Indiana became a state, and before Indianapolis became the state capital. Corydon, Indiana is a small town clear down by the Ohio River. And they have the territorial capital, which is in the center of town. And then just off to, I believe, the west, right across the street, is the old territorial jail. They still have the whipping post um, standing outside the jail where they used to tie the prisoners up and whip them. And Corydon is very famous for Morgan's Raiders uh, coming out during the Civil War and coming up through Tennessee. Um, they left Sparta, Tennessee, came up through Tennessee, up through Kentucky, and were firing on Corydon from across the Ohio River with their very first cannon. And nobody knew how to aim the thing, so they were overshooting the town. They must have shot 2 dozen cannonballs right over the top of the town, and they all landed in the vicinity of a farm on the north end of town. And most of those cannonballs have been found, and they are located in the territorial capital. But there are pictures in there of the old barn and the farmland with holes in the barn and craters all over the pasture land and stuff like that. But then when they realized they couldn't zero in the cannon, they just raided the town and then moved eastward into Ohio and followed the Ohio River up, where they finally got attached or attacked by Union forces. So, there's a lot of history down there. Well worth a trip. I've been down there myself. It's absolutely fascinating. Well worth a trip, but it's about a 4 or 5 hour trip down. But I'll tell you what, there's more than a day of filming some of the historic locations down there. We still have Hiram Walker Brewery and his house that was and still around since the 1800s. Hiram Walker was the founder of Canadian Club Whiskey. I'm a distant relative of Hiram. My last name is Walker. It is on our family tree lineage. Now, I did not know that you were that branch of the Walker family. Very cool. And I did not know that the brewery, uh, the Walker Brewery, and stuff was still existing. Is that um, um, is that up there in your town, Derek? It's a big ass branch. I bet it is. I bet it's a tree unto itself, bud. Mr. Kinderman, very cool. You should come to Windsor sometime. We can collab. Yes, Windsor, Ontario is the home of Hiram Walker. I'm still waiting for, you know, Rob, he's talking about you coming up to Windsor. And he doesn't realize you just live like an hour and a half from me. Um, but I'm still waiting on Derek to come down to Michigan to, you know, go out and film some videos and hang out and stuff like that. So when Derek makes it down here to visit me, I'll get a hold of you, and or when I find out he's coming, I'll get a hold of you, and you can come down and join us. We'll 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 have our little we'll have our little three-way collab and do some stuff together. I live 3 miles from the original Hiram Walker plant. Yes, or the original one here in Illinois. The last time I was in Windsor was in high school. Once I'm able to travel again, I'll be going to many different places. It's hard to travel very far with one vehicle right now. I didn't realize you guys were down to one vehicle, bud. You know, I was just thinking the other day, I saw something on here last week, maybe, about James Dean. And I thought, Rob and I never made it down to Fairmount, Indiana last year to do the old Dean Ranch, the James Dean Museum, the Fairmount Museum, James Dean's grave site, stuff like that. Back down to my hometown. Of course, I'd have to take you to the town tavern and, buy you a beer. It's where I had my first one at. Drew, I will come see you, big boy. You know you're always welcome, bud. I was in Windsor in 68 or 69. Was on Facebook. I was in a major car accident. July 5th, we lost our vehicle. It was completely totaled. It was the other guy's fault for the accident. I didn't see anything about it. Wow. I did not see anything about it. But in my defense, the only time I'm ever on Facebook anymore is posting my video releases on the appropriate pages. Um, Unless I get a notification that I see that, is from somebody specific that I know personally, then of course I will check them out and see what's going on. Well, Michigander, if you do not mind, I will come and see you and you, Drew, and I can have an adventure. There you go. But all right, guys, it's that time. I have got to get working while I can on these 31 days of Halloween. Like I said, I'm currently working on one. I started at 3 o'clock this morning on a very mysterious, kind of spooky piece of history out of Defiance, Ohio. So be looking for that one on October 1st, the very first video to kick off the 31 days of Halloween. But I am going to get busy. That's going to be it for today. Like I said, I will do my best. Well, no, it's a positive. I'll be on next Monday morning. Same fat time, same fat station. 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And do another live stream. But that's it for today, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming in here and joining us. I remember the money was pretty. Dude, 22, 23 years ago, when I was up at Chatham, Ontario, the last time for the 1812 reenactment Battle of Thames up there, we exchanged our money there just over the Ambassador Bridge. And I did everything in my power to smuggle back as much Canadian currency as I could. It was so beautiful. Nothing like our money is today here in America. It's like it was 100 years ago here in America. So, they're in a restaurant that looked like A&W but wasn't. It was seven or eight. But all right, guys, I'm out of here. I got to get to work on these videos and get as many of them done as I can while I have time to do them. So until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. We'll catch y'all next week. You guys all take care.